Question 1. What is the term for when a large language model, LLM, like Claude, generates information that sounds plausible and coherent, but is factually incorrect, nonsensical, or made up? Option A. Overfitting. Option B. Bias. Option C. Hallucination. Option D. Underfitting. The correct answer is hallucination. Here's the explanation. Hallucination, or confabulation, is a significant limitation of LLMs where they produce factually incorrect or nonsensical information that appears coherent. Question 2. An enterprise wants to use Claude AI for an internal knowledge management system, but is concerned about Claude's inherent knowledge cutoff, meaning it's unaware of recent policy updates. Which architectural pattern directly addresses this limitation? Option A. Fine-tuning the Claude model with the latest policy documents. Option B. Increasing the context window size of Claude for longer prompts. Option C. Implementing retrieval augmented generation, RAG. Option D. Relying solely on advanced prompt engineering to guide Claude. The correct answer is implementing retrieval augmented generation, RAG. Here's the explanation. Retrieval augmented generation, RAG, is a critical technique that directly addresses the knowledge cutoff limitation by enabling Claude to access and utilize external, up-to-date information sources at inference time. Question 3. Which statement best describes the fundamental reason why large language models like Claude lack true understanding or common sense? Option A. They are limited by the computational power of modern GPUs and cannot process complex thoughts. Option B. They are designed to mimic human consciousness through neural networks, which is still an unsolved problem. Option C. They operate based on statistical patterns and next token prediction from training data, not genuine cognitive understanding or real-world experience. Option D. They primarily learn from structured data, which limits their ability to grasp nuanced, unstructured information. The correct answer is, quote, they operate based on statistical patterns and next token prediction from training data, not genuine cognitive understanding or real-world experience. Here's the explanation. LLMs are statistical models trained to predict the most probable next token based on patterns in their vast training data. They do not possess consciousness, true understanding, or common sense reasoning, which stems from real-world experience. Question 4. For modern agentic development with Claude 3 models, what is the recommended and most feature-rich API endpoint for programmatic interaction? Option A, /v1 complete, Option B, /v1/chat, Option C, /v1/messages, Option D, /v1 tools, The correct answer is /v1/messages, Here's the explanation. The key features/components section explicitly states, the primary interaction point is the /v1/messages endpoint, designed for multi-turn conversational interactions, which is the recommended and most feature-rich API for Claude 3 models. Question 5. Which statement accurately describes the role of the Claude API in enabling tool use for agentic systems? Option A. The API directly executes external tools based on Claude's internal logic. Option B. The API allows Claude to output structured data, a !tool_use block, indicating a desired external function call, which the application then executes. Option C. Developers must predefine all tool results within the API request for Claude to use them. Option D. Tool use is a feature exclusive to the Claude 3 Opus model and not available via the API for other models. The correct answer is, the API allows Claude to output structured data, a !tool_use block, indicating a desired external function call, which the application then executes. Here's the explanation. The key features/components and how it works sections describe this flow. Claude generates a !tool_use block, and the developer's application is responsible for executing that tool and feeding the result back. Question 6. When choosing a Claude model via the API for a chatbot application, what are the primary factors developers typically consider? Option A, the developer's preferred programming language and operating system. Option B, the model's distinct performance characteristics, cost, and context window size. Option C, the physical location of the Anthropic data centers. Option D, the availability of specific pre-trained datasets for the model. The correct answer is, quote, the model's distinct performance characteristics, cost, and context window size. Here's the explanation. The key features/components and exam tips sections mention that models like Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku offer distinct performance characteristics, cost, and context window sizes, allowing developers to select the most appropriate model for their needs. Question 7. What is the primary purpose of an API key when making requests to the Claude API? Option A, to encrypt the data transmitted to and from the API. Option B, to authenticate the request and identify the user or project. Option C, to specify the version of the Claude model to be used. Option D, to define the maximum number of tokens Claude should generate. The correct answer is, to authenticate the request and identify the user or project. Here's the explanation. API keys act as bearer tokens, identifying the user or project making the request and authorizing access to the LLM, ensuring secure communication. Question 8. For a production cloud environment, what is the most secure and recommended method for storing sensitive credentials like Claude API keys? Option A, hard-coding them directly into the application's source code. Option B, storing them in a publicly accessible configuration file. Option C, using dedicated cloud secret management services, e.g., AWS Secrets Manager. Option D, including them in client-side JavaScript code. The correct answer is, using dedicated cloud secret management services, e.g., AWS Secrets Manager. Here's the explanation. Cloud secret management services are designed for securely storing and managing sensitive information like API keys in production, preventing them from being exposed in code or insecure files. Question 9. Anthropic implements rate limiting for its Claude API. What is the primary reason for this, and what implication does it have for application design? Option A, to prioritize requests from paying customers. Applications should use higher-tier API keys. Option B, to ensure fair usage and system stability. Applications must implement retry logic with exponential backoff. Option C, to reduce data transfer costs. Applications should compress request payloads. Option D, to enforce regional data residency. Applications must specify the server region in each request. The correct answer is, to ensure fair usage and system stability, applications must implement retry logic with exponential backoff. Here's the explanation. Rate limiting prevents abuse and maintains system stability. Applications need to gracefully handle these limits by retrying requests, often with exponential backoff, to avoid being blocked. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.